All right. State your name. Who are you?
My name is Deven Ali. I run the YouTube channel Mortal Throne of Deven. Some of you may know me from the Zoom that I did with J-Dog. I basically used that to jumpstart my channel. We're at like 400 subscribers right now, actually. We hit that yesterday. So,
Okay. All right. You're coming up in the world.
yes, we are.
Well, you and I have both attempted to use J-Dog as a stepping stone.
Yes.
But
And honestly, I think for you, it has benefited even more than myself, which is great. Props to you, brother.
Why me more?
No, I just feel like more people mention you in the comments and stuff and talk about Dom, and we want to see another Dom Zoom. Like I've seen that comment at least like 5 times in like the past month. And while people do say that they liked my Zoom, a lot of people do emphasize they really liked it. I haven't seen like, we want another Deven Zoom, but I mean, I'm probably going to do one very soon with him again.
It's funny. I actually have a video scheduled with him tomorrow.
Dude, perfect.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I wanted to interview you, and I guess I'll ask you some they're pretty basic questions, but
Gotcha.
well, your channel is more, it's geared towards grindcore and gore grind and brutal death metal stuff.
More or less, just because I do love like I'd say brutal death metal is probably, when it comes to metal, just encompassing in the entire expanse of it. Death metal is one of my favorite genres, and with that, gore grind is kind of right there because a lot of gore grind is inspired by just brutal death metal in general. I mean, if you listen to the first 2 Carcass records, yes, those are gore grind. Those are the first 2 gore grind albums, but they are heavily influenced by death metal.
Sure. You could potentially school me, because even though you're just a mere child, you make me feel like an old man. I'll tell you that much. But you could probably school me when it comes to gore grind and such, because I don't listen to any of that stuff really. I mean, I listen to I love Dying Fetus.
Okay, I mean, I do really like the Grotesque Impalement EP. That's great. One thing about Fetus that, I mean, I really do like their first 3 albums. I've never gotten around to purchasing them, and I don't really go back to them very often. I do like a lot of Fetus clone bands, though. But as you were saying, when it comes to gore grind, you don't listen to a lot of it, and honestly, I could say I don't listen to necessarily too much of it, just because it is like that entire genre is so bloated.
Yeah.
It is so like overdone. I mean, I literally titled my most recent video going over gore grind. It was called Classic Gore Grind Those Sulfuric Cautery Nerds Don't Know About. Because they're like one of those new gore grind bands that I heard a while back. They actually did a show with another band I reviewed, Trichomoniasis. And they did a show with them a while back, like out here. Both bands are from the Bay Area. And it's like, yeah, I wasn't gonna go. I mean, yeah, I like gore grind, but not that type of stuff. I definitely prefer a lot of the pioneering bands. I've stated multiple times, like my 2 favorite, like if I were have to pick 2 favorite gore grind albums of all time, are Pathologists, Grinding Opus of Forensic Medical Problems, which is Carcass Worship, and then Dead Infection's second album, A Chapter of Accidents, which it's faster gore grind, and it's definitely more punk influence, but it's not something like Last Days of Humanity. While I do really like Last Days of Humanity, and those guys definitely push the fucking boundaries of what you can do with an album cover. If you've ever seen some of those.
Well, I was gonna ask. So, okay, the Deaden album that is above your left shoulder there.
You want to know what it is?
Yeah, that is to me. It looks like a rotting ball sack. Is that what it
Yeah,
is?
so that is someone's a male's genitalia that went necrotic.
Yeah.
Actually, it's funny you bring that up. Do you listen to Deven?
No.
You don't. You
No.
don't listen. Okay, for sure. Because it's funny. I'm going to and I don't really mind saying it because I in the next video I'm going to be uploading, I did kind of mention it, but I will be interviewing their vocalist on the channel in just a couple of days.
Okay.
So very cool. But yeah, that is. I even spoke to him about that because I do speak with Vaughn Young, who was their vocalist. He was also in the band Lividity. But yeah, I spoke with him about it, and he said that that photo is a yes genitalia that went necrotic, basically someone's dick.
Yeah.
And that's not even the worst part, man. If you open up, I'll pick it out right here. Yeah, if you open up, because here's the CD. If you open it up and you pull the CD out, there's an even worse like picture behind it, dude. Just put the CD down real quick. Yeah, that I don't know if you can see it. That girl has a broom up her cooch, though. Yep.
Well,
The band did that. The band went on rotting.com, which was back in the day. You probably remember, you were around back then. That was the place to get gore photos back in the day. So yeah, they found the cover photo, and I believe they found that broom girl photo on rotten.com.
well,
Yeah.
that gives me an opportunity to segue. So how old were you when you first discovered that sort of music, and was it? I was gonna say, was it love at first sight? I mean, did it take a while to really dig into it?
It's funny you mentioned that, dude. I mean, crazy because when I was like 12, I was just roaming around YouTube, and I found metal archives pretty early on when I was surfing the web. Because I had always kind of been into, the heavier music. Literally, I think the first introduction to heavy music, my dad, he put on Mechanical Animals by Marilyn Manson. And we were listening to that downstairs one day. That was like really the first introduction to heavy music. But as for like brutal death metal, when I was around 12 or 13, I think I stumbled upon the band Cephalotripsy.
I know
Are
the
you
name.
are you familiar with who they are?
I know the name. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So basically, when I was 12 or 13, I stumbled upon that band, and somehow on YouTube, I came across this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I came across that beautiful, pretty album cover. It's slam, so that's it is a subgenre of brutal death metal. It's slamming brutal death metal, although a lot of it is just deathcore slop. And I've gotten into that in my videos before, but that was the first ever introduction to real heavy brutal death metal. And no, it was not love at first sight. It actually, I mean, it didn't frighten me. It didn't like, whoa, gotta get away from that. It was just like, wow, like people are doing this. Like that. That's crazy. I mean, but I was 12, 13. And I mean, after that, I think I sort of took a step back from a lot of that, and only when I turned like 18, maybe 19, really started getting into it. I literally just turned 25. And thank you for the birthday wish on my Facebook, brother. I really do appreciate that. Thank you very much. And yeah, I started getting into it again with bands, the surface level stuff. So like Nile, I believe the first ever brutal death metal album, and I mean, you could consider it death metal, but a lot of people do consider Nile brutal death metal. First ever album of that genre I heard was Amongst the Catacombs of Nephren Ka, which is one hell of a way to start. And that definitely got me interested just because of how unique that album was. And in a way, I believe that album almost set me up for failure because, dude, that album is so unique and nobody sounds like that. So going from Nile and then trying to find bands that sound it was difficult to say the least, and I really didn't find the stuff that I really enjoy, which is sort of that late 90s sort of Illinois, Ohio, East Coast, New York brutal death metal scene. I didn't really start getting into that until like actually just a few years ago. But I've always sort of been into heavier music. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, when I was a youngster, I was into some of that deathcore stuff. I liked
Well, were you obviously you didn't start with deathcore. What was your gateway death metal band?
gateway death metal band.
Unless you did start, maybe you did start with deathcore. I don't know.
I actually did.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't start with death metal. I heard bands like Cannibal Corpse when I was like 13,
Mhm.
14, and I remember seeing Butchered at Birth, that album cover, and being like, damn, this wild. So I didn't get into that stuff just yet at that moment. So I was checking out stuff like Suicide Silence, um, you know, the early Suicide Silence, because even I agreed back then, like even their second album is terrible, No Time to Bleed. Like I cut it at the cleansing, and I rarely revisit that album nowadays. But that album, it has good vocals. Mitch was a good vocalist. You can't really deny that. Wasn't the smartest guy, but yeah, he was a good vocalist. And I was into stuff like Job for a Cowboy, that first EP, that was really cool. Yeah, didn't really start getting into the death metal until I was like 18, 19, but I was always in bands. And I actually, one second. Here is, and this is, I don't even know if there are any other copies that exist of this. This is my band's first ever demo, Gravity Point, the 2016 Mockingbird Studio Sessions. Mockingbird Studios was my dad's studio in our house. It's basically a built-in studio in our house from his old band. Of course, it's signed by me.
So is your dad the guy then who got you into metal, or was there an older sibling? Or
Yeah, my dad got me into metal. I wouldn't consider Tool a metal band at all, but like I said, he turned me on to Marilyn Manson when I was like 9 or 10. I heard Anima by Tool for the first time, which was fucking insane. That's still literally one of my
you're frozen up. The awesomeness of Tool has frozen your camera. I don't know if you can still hear me or not. I'm gonna try removing you from the. Oh, nope. There we go.
we both kind of cut out for a minute there. What happened? My bad, brother.
All right. Okay. So I'm blaming Tool for that one. We'll just blame Tool. Yeah. You going out again? What's going on here? I'm wondering if it's my connection. I still have the internet. I don't know what's going on. Okay.
I do as well. I'm on Wi-Fi, so it shouldn't be a problem.
Okay. Yeah, I'm using Wi-Fi. You're coming in now, so.
Gotcha. Perfect. Okay, let's just resume. It should be fine.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so okay, you were talking about your dad got you into. So okay, well that would have been. So you weren't. I find it interesting to talk to people who are your age because when I was 12, 13, Marilyn Manson was he was the one that every parent hated.
Right.
It wasn't not that it was extreme metal, but it was something that you weren't supposed to listen to. You know, if you were my age, listening back now. I don't know how that would sound out of context. What were your first impressions of Mechanical Animals, for instance?
Well, glad you asked me that. Because I love that album. That's actually, again, it is literally one of my top 10 albums of all time. It left
Mhm.
such an impression on me when I was young. And I love the R&B elements. I mean, before even metal, my entire family is from Michigan, sort of like the Detroit area. So Motown, I grew up on a lot of that stuff.
Okay.
So I love those elements that he put in that album. And
Mhm.
I mean, Mechanical Animals is almost a David Bowie tribute record.
Yeah, it is.
It's a Bowie tribute album. I mean, really, even the album cover, him on the album cover, right? It's
Mhm.
supposed to be Omega, the
Yeah.
alien, with the people said he got breast implants. No, he didn't. It was a suit. And then he has the Ken doll kind of like genital thing, that
Yeah.
area where it's like it's just skin. It's sort of like androgynous. Um, I thought it was really cool. And my dad showed me that when I was like 8 or 9, and he was like, "Yeah, Devin, like come look at this. Like you see this right here. Like you're just trying to kind of send a message out to just the public that androgyny is okay." He was showing people that you could be different, and just kind of telling me that this is all right. You shouldn't be afraid of this type of music. So I never really saw it as taboo, like putting up the cross or anything. And even my parents were never very push religion down my throat. Like my dad got me a Bible when I was like in 7th or 8th grade, and he just gave it to me. He was like, "Here, read this if you want to."
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I read it. It's a good book. It's about it. It's a good, but yeah, I mean, Mechanical Animals, yeah, great fucking album, dude. I can't sing its praises high enough. I
Half
think
of
fun. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Fundamentally Loathsome, which is actually one of his softer songs, is probably my favorite Manson song of all time.
Yeah, that's a great song. That
Mm-hmm.
and another ballad on that album, "The Speed of Pain."
Oh yeah.
I love "The Speed of Pain."
Oh, love the ending of that song where it fades out. What is the line? I forget what the line is. Hope that we die holding. Yeah, hope that we die holding hands. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I can't remember if it's the first half or the second half. But half, I'm sure half of that album, it's conceptual, whereas like it's either the first or the second half is the band that Omega is in, and the other half is Marilyn Manson. I don't know if you ever read into that.
Oh, really? No.
Yeah, yeah,
It was
it's
about Omega and trying to traverse the music scene and industry.
half of it was the fictional band that Omega is in, and the other half was Marilyn Manson. It's kind of interesting reading up on it. So, what did you think of Antichrist Superstar?
It's a good album.
Yeah,
It's legitimately a really good album. I mean, like, I think one of my Mr. Superstar is a great song. Love Tourniquet. I mean, Reflecting God's great. Um,
so you
Overall,
don't,
I don't think it's his best work, but it is his most metallic. It
uh,
is his most
yeah,
metallic. That's
yeah.
bridging on industrial metal right there. And songs
Mhm.
like 1996 really, really do kind of. I wouldn't say it's a metal album. I wouldn't go as far as saying that. But looking
Well,
at
there
the
are
switch
metal
between,
influences,
which
you know.
oh yeah, it definitely has metal influences.
Yeah,
Oh hell yeah. But going from Portrait to Antichrist, and then the Smells Like Children EP in the middle, yeah, it's way more metallic.
yeah. Um, I lost my train of thought. Hold on, it'll come back here in just a second. Okay, so you do you have any siblings or?
I have two sisters. Both of them are way older than me. I keep in
Okay.
contact with them frequently, though. They both have kids, so
Mhm.
all have their both have their own lives, doing their own things.
Are
So
they into metal at all or
no,
no?
both my sisters are straight up like ghetto wiggers. So yeah,
Okay.
like straight up, dude. Straight like they don't like any of that stuff. Like even rock music, they can't. It does nothing for me. It's like yeah, this does nothing for me either. Like the shit that you're playing. So,
Right.
and I actually do like some hip hop, dude. I mean, like what? Ready to Die? Great fucking album. That this is an original copy. They fucking took out the fucking samples. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember getting the remaster on CD and like, where's like half the samples on this disc, dude?
Oh, that's interesting.
Yep.
Why? Well, see,
His
I
estate
like.
got taken to court. Biggie's estate got taken to court in like '03, '05, and a lot of the artists that his DJs had sampled from, like old funk and R&B artists, they started hearing these songs, these Biggie songs, like, yeah, that's me. I did that. Wait, I never got paid for that. So yeah, he got taken to court after his death, and they legally had to take the samples out. And I personally hate that. I think sampling in music is great. I mean, shit. I honestly think, yeah. I'll just leave it at that. You know.
Yeah, I like samples as well. The only rap that I really like, and I don't actually own any of it. I don't collect it, but I do like some of the '90s gangster rap. I
Yeah.
like the rap where it sounds like the guy probably did kill someone at some point.
Yeah,
I like
yeah, no,
stuff,
exactly. It felt a lot more real. Like another one of my
Yeah.
favorite rappers is Nas. His first two albums, like Illmatic and It Was Written, some of the best hip hop out there. And yeah, like the shit that's out here nowadays, that mumble rap shit, I could take it or leave it, man. It sucks.
Yeah, yeah. You might like. Have you heard of the Gravediggers?
No, I don't think so.
Look up the Gravedigger. You'd be into that. They're almost horror rap.
Oh, horrorcore. No,
Yeah,
that's the genre in rap that's like horror-ish. Like
Yeah.
some people do that. You ever
Yeah.
heard of the rapper Necro?
Yes,
I need drugs.
Yeah, he had the. Didn't he have the Ed Repka cover?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I'm familiar with Necro. Yeah, yeah, Ed Repka is one of my favorite album cover artists. Him and Dan Seagrave. I don't know if you're familiar with Seagrave.
I am. I'd say I mean, not that he made one of my favorite album covers per se. He has made some of my favorite album artwork of all time. Wes Ben Scooter.
Yeah.
He did the Mortal, and I mean, dude, Mortal Throne of Deven. Mortal Throne of Nazarene is my favorite death metal album of all time. I mean, there are albums that, I mean, they clash with it, but that is probably my favorite death metal album of all time. Got the flag right there. He did the inside cover or the inside artwork. When you take the CD out of the tray, it's the demon orgy.
Okay. Yeah.
With the let me. Here's actually a signed copy by John McEntee.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I met him last year, and I'm gonna go to see them in Belphegor again this year. Wes Ben Scooter did this artwork.
Okay, yeah.
And I love that artwork. I have like 2 or 3 Mortal Throne shirts with that artwork on the back. Always gets nasty looks. Always.
I remember seeing the Wes Ben Scooter artwork that I was most familiar with was the Cattle Decapitation album. Was it Humanure?
Oh, he did that one.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I don't. Cattle Decap are fine. They were actually one of the first real bands I got into when it was sort of the brutal stuff. Although they're more like death grind, their earlier stuff, and they turned deathcore. But I like Homnivore and Human Jerky. Those are both pretty good releases. But after that, I just kind of signed out.
I'm not that big of a fan of them musically, but I always really liked that album cover though.
Oh, okay, for sure. Yeah, no, that is a cool album cover. Yep.
Yeah.
Do you know John Zig?
John Zig.
The Zig.
Um,
Another one of my favorite album covers, and this one is kind of gnarly. The Suffocated. You know what? Actually, that one doesn't even show up good on because that's the reissue. The original is more like red and it looks more evil. Yeah, here we go. Suffocated and Shrink Wrap. It's fucked up. Yeah, I know. Huh? It's fucked up. Yeah, that's so that was the band that was formed from the remnants of Regurgitation, the band that J-Dog always talks about from Ohio, Tales of Necrophilia and stuff. So yeah,
sure.
Necrotic Disgorgement, they formed out of the remnants of Regurgitation. And actually, I mean, there's a question I'm going to be asking the vocalist of Deven. I told you I'd be interviewing him. Just because, see right there, I got the flag of Flesh Grind destined for defilement. So Deven were the first ever artist signed to United Guttural Records, and the vocalist of Flesh Grind, named Rich Lipscomb, he owned United Guttural Records. And also Brian Baxter of Regurgitation was good friends with him. Now, Rich Lipscomb, he passed away a few years back, and before he passed away, he had basically left the scene, and from what I know, he became like a Reiki healer, and he turned on like, this is what I know, because Brian Baxter of Regurgitation, on his video with J-Dog, he's had 2 different, videos with J-Dog that he's done. On one of them, he was bashing his name, and this was actually after Rich even passed away. So I'm wondering if there was a falling out in that scene between all of them. That's gonna be something I'll be asking the Deven vocalist.
I was gonna ask a couple of incantation questions, since you are a big fan of Mortal Throne.
I like, honestly, I like their first 4 albums damn near all the same, but yeah, that is my favorite.
Well, a couple years ago, I went on a kind of a deep, what's it called? Deep dive on incantation. My favorite of at least the first half of the discography, my favorite is the Infernal Storm.
Dude, that's my second favorite.
Well,
actually, that's my second favorite behind Mortal Throne. I actually even told John when I met him, I said Infernal Storm is one of my favorite albums of all time. I made sure to tell him that, because that one gets fucking dumped under the rug a lot. Like, because people think, what's it called? People think, I mean, I can pull it out right now. What's the fucking third album called? Diabolical Conquest? Yeah. People think that one just demolishes it. And first, I'm a drummer. All right. Okay. Kyle fucks up quite a bit on that album. And he even admits it in interviews that he was pretty much on heroin the entire time he recorded it. Because if you don't know, Kyle had a big heroin problem in the 90s. And that's why he was out with Seth Putnam from fucking Anal Cunt, and that's why they have a song called Kyle from Incantation Has a Mustache. The more you know. The more you know. They have a song called that.
I do like that one too. I didn't for a long time. I didn't like it nearly as much as the other first 4 or 5 Incantation records. I listened to it again like a few months ago, and
you know who plays drum on that, right?
What?
You know who plays the drums on that, right?
Yeah. Refresh my memory.
Dave Coolross, bro.
Oh, Cole. Okay,
it's Dave Coolross. Yeah, Malevolent. Yeah, fucking Coolross, bro. And it's some of their tightest work, bro. It really is. Like, I love their earlier stuff with Jim Rowe on drums, because he has such a unique way of playing drums, and you can tell it's influenced by a lot of those early metal drummers, like Bill Ward of Sabbath, and his style was very unique. But Dave Coolross is such a fucking master at the kit. Like, his blasts are so precise, like, and insane, dude. I wish I was as good of a drummer as he was. Like
Yeah, he
I'm
actually
decent.
played on.
I'm an okay drummer, and I can definitely keep blast going. But he can play like fucking circles around me. Like the speeds he can play, yeah, dude.
He's
I've been
awesome.
playing for like 40 fucking years.
He actually played on what I consider my favorite Malevolent creation. I have actually listened to every
Is it
single
the Fine
album.
Art of Murder?
No, no,
Which one?
Envenomed.
Really?
Yeah, yeah,
Holy shit. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I know he plays on the Fine Art of Murder, and that's probably one of my favorites because it's, dude, that album is just fucking pummeling. Just so
yeah. He
fucking
plays on
quick.
Envenomed, which is one of the few I actually own on CD. I don't own a lot of. I don't have a huge physical media collection when it comes to music,
For
but
sure.
I do have that one though. Um,
Okay.
yeah, but yeah, he plays on Envenomed. And I've only heard Fine Art of Murder like 2 or 3 times. I need to go back and listen to
That
it.
album's, I mean, it's a great album, dude. It's just super fucking long. It's
Oh,
like
is it?
50 something minutes. And I mean, that's cool, dude. But an album that's like similar length that definitely keeps my attention more is the first Mortal Decay. Sickening Erotic. Like that album's around like 53, 54 minutes, and I don't really think there's a track on there that's a dud.
You have to really love the music for that kind of length to not bother you. I mean,
Straight up, man. Straight up. Because honestly, for a lot of my favorite gore grind releases, yeah, I don't like when the albums go longer than like say 30 minutes.
yeah,
25, 30 minutes tops, dude. Because yeah, like I do love that type of music, but it's like over and over again, it does get very repetitive. Because
sure.
I mean, to be honest, there's not a whole lot you can do with it, but I do like it.
Yeah, I was gonna, yeah. I keep stumbling over my words. I'm probably coming off as a bit of a retard myself.
No, you're good, dude.
Uh,
No.
um, actually, maybe now would be a good time to reveal my. I'm going to be starting a band here soon. And
Really?
yeah. I real. I don't want to say too much about it yet because I haven't really launched my search for musicians yet. I have grand plans, and
Okay.
the name of the band. I was going to wait to reveal it, but I already said the word. Diabolical retard.
Diabolical retard.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
It's better than Diarrhea Planet. It's probably the worst band name I ever fucking heard. So it's way better than that, man.
What is diarrhea? Is that an actual band, Diarrhea
Yes,
Planet?
yes. I literally seen their performance in like one of those studios that they had. They're like a crossover thrash band.
Oh, okay.
Of course, like one of those bands would have that stupid fucking name. Of course.
Yeah, I do like I like some crossover stuff from the 80s. Um, personally, I don't listen to a lot of stuff past like 85. That's about as far back as I go. Oh, you froze up again. So, okay, I was going to ask, do you listen to any black metal?
Yes, I do. Actually, one of I wore a you may have not watched the video. I wore a Denial of God shirt though in one of my past videos. I do really love the Horrors of Satan. Great album.
Mhm.
Do you want to see my rarest black metal CD?
Sure.
All right. It's an original copy of Belphegor's The Last Supper.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's like their first album. That's like $100-something CD, and it's like mint
Okay.
condition. So
Hmm.
yeah, really good stuff.
I
Original.
like Belphegor. I like I guess my favorite by them would be Bondage Goat Zombie.
Okay, for
Um,
sure. That's a good one.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good album. I don't even know if I've heard The Last Supper though. I'm not sure if I have or not. I know the
They
earlier
this,
stuff.
the really big one off there is Funeral Without a Cry.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't heard that then.
For sure, yeah. It's in my opinion, it is their best. It's more of a black metal album than
Yeah,
a
that's
death
what
metal album because
yeah.
yeah, Belphegor are more of a black and death metal album.
Yeah, I thought the earlier stuff was more black metal than death metal.
Yes, and then they kind of got more and more towards that sound. Yeah, I'm actually gonna go see them with Incantation in March. So
Oh yeah, okay.
yeah.
Cool.
If any of the viewers are in San Francisco around that area, come to the DNA Lounge show. I'll be there. We take a photo together and
So you're in
talk music and
California.
all that.
What's the temperature right now where you're at?
What is it, man? It's like 50 something. Yeah, it's like 55.
Is that about as cold as it gets in California?
No,
No?
no. In the morning, dude, when I get out, sometimes it's like 30 degrees.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't
it can
realize.
get cold here sometimes, especially in the winter. We don't get snow, but it can definitely get cold.
Mhm.
I've seen it maybe hit like 28, 29 degrees a few times.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
it can get cold, like as cold as it is for California, because like I said, my entire family is from Michigan and
Mm,
yeah, I mean it gets negative out there, so
right. Yeah. Well, a couple weeks ago we got a lot of snow and the wind chill was around 6. Of course, I wasn't outside in it, but I thought our power was going to go out, but it held up. Usually, if it snows a little bit, our power goes, or if a tree knocks over a power line, we're out for sometimes days with no power.
holy shit, wow.
Yeah, it's a very delicate region, but we do get all 4 seasons, though. That's the nice thing about North Carolina. We get hot summers and cold winters, and yeah. Well, now I'm just talking about the weather, but yeah. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. We were talking about black metal.
Yeah.
Stay on topic, Dom. Stay on topic. Um, so are you okay? Did you if you started with you went from deathcore to I like to kind of map a chart of
So
like
okay, let me stop you right there.
yeah,
I did not go to deathcore to death metal. Let's detour because before I got really into death metal, found a knack for a lot of the mathcore, the math grind scene, the grindy, the
okay.
technical stuff. So really, let me just go over here real quick. Uh, Dillinger Escape Plans Calculating Infinity.
I was just about to ask you if you like Dillinger Escape Plan.
Dude, this is I literally my next video is all about Dillinger.
Okay.
Literally, my next video is all about them and their terrible fall from grace. Because holy fuck, man, I don't like anything they put out after Miss Machine. I'm gonna go really in depth in that in my next video I put out, but
Okay.
Miss Machine is where I think Dillinger peaked. And a lot of people say, no, it's Calculating Infinity. No, scratch that. Dimitri's vocals really were not that great. They were basically just hardcore shouts. When Greg Puciato got in the band, and this is after the EP they did with Mike Patton, which was also good. But when Greg Puciato got in the band and they started doing Miss Machine, his vocals were so fucking diverse. Not only did he include like fry screams, there were actual melodic sections with singing. So people, they're like, oh, not the slow songs. Like, dude, it's not slow. It's still progressive. It just includes some singing. And what that tells me is that people who were like, oh yeah, calculating is the end all be all. Like, you don't really like the music. You just like the
Yeah.
image. Because if you do, I mean, shit, dude. If for all intents and purposes, Miss Machine is a much better album than Calculating Infinity. Has better song structures. Yeah, it's not as technical, but it's a lot more accessible. And literally, the first time I ever heard them was in SmackDown versus Raw 2006 when they had that song on Retrofight in it. It's the first time I ever heard them. Like it
the
holds a nostalgic place in my heart.
the only Dillinger that I really like a lot would be the irony. The irony is a dead scene with Mike Patton.
Really,
Yeah, because
I
I went through a big Mike Patton phase when I was in high
I got
school.
that as well. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is a really good EP. I'm not gonna lie. Like Pig Latin is and then like Come to Daddy, dude. Like basically, Come to Daddy is just a song to showcase how good of a drummer Chris Penny is.
Mhm.
Because it showcases all the rudiments that he can play and stuff. Like that guy was such a good fucking drummer.
Yeah.
And that's really when they got rid of him is when I think they really went downhill. Because Ironworks, the album after Miss Machine, is fucking garbage. It's
Oh,
it's
really?
it's it's okay. It's like if you look at it from a hardcore standpoint, but if you're looking at it from like a metal, it has way too much rock influence. You listen to songs like Black Bubblegum, and the fucking chorus of that song is basically like an alternative rock track. Like I'm not a big fan of it. Also, Gil Sharon plays drums on that. That guy's a session drummer.
Okay.
He's a session drummer. All right, he's not a mathcore drummer. He's not a progressive metal drummer. So that's like one of the worst fucking performances of any Dillinger album. And I do not like Billy Reimer as a drummer. Right. That's the drummer that they got after Chris Penny. After because Gil Sharon wasn't actually their drummer. He was just a stand-in because they kicked Chris Penny out because he got into a big fight with Ben Wyman, the guitarist. They don't want you to know that. It's creative differences. Billy Reimer gets in the band. They fucking record Option Paralysis. They record One of Us is the Killer. Those albums are like mid, dude. They're eh. So yeah, my next video is going to be all about Dillinger. They're one of those bands that I really like their earlier stuff, but holy fuck, they really fell from grace, and I cannot emphasize that enough. They terribly fucked up their sound.
Well, yeah, I guess I shouldn't say because I'm not
I'm
actually
very
a huge
opinionated just
fan.
because they were one of the bands that I one of the gateway bands for me to get into like really extreme music. I don't consider deathcore extreme music. So when I look at what was the first album that ever got me into extreme music, it's this. It's Miss Machine by Dillinger Escape Plan.
Okay.
That was the first thing that really kind of piqued my interest into that type of music. And after the math course that I was getting into, because at the time I was getting into Dillinger, I was also getting into like Converge, like Jane Doe, and even like the earlier stuff, like when Forever Comes Crashing. After that, I started checking out the grindier, like mathy stuff, the math grind stuff. So, you ever heard of a band called Ed Gein?
No, I'm only familiar with the person.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so they're like one of those grindy bands that had sort of a mathy edge to them. Like they definitely had, 43% burnt.
Yeah.
That song. And there's in Ed Gein's song, The Marlboro Man is a Douchebag. They have like a very, very similar breakdown. You could almost say that 43% burnt inspired that breakdown. It is so similar. So Ed Gein was one of those bands I got into right after I kind of hit this glass ceiling for mathcore, because as much as I do kind of like some mathcore groups, a lot of that stuff is terrible. I could never get into Norma Jean. I could never get into Poison the Well. I could straight up never get into any of those bands. Like I like Psyopus. They're okay. What's another, like Car Bomb are all right. I guess you could consider Number 12 Looks Like You mathcore, yeah, but their earlier stuff with math grind, I do like Number 12 Looks Like You. But to be honest, a lot of that stuff sucks.
Are you into because of Mike Patton that got me thinking? Are you into Faith No More at all?
I know who they are. I like Phantom Us better.
Okay.
Like, yeah, you know Phantomus, right? That
Oh, of
super
course.
group that
Yeah,
Mike Patton had with
yeah, yeah.
fucking what?
Lombardo and
Yeah,
Bo.
Lombardo from Slayer and Buzz
Mhm.
Osborne from the Melvins, like crazy ass group, dude.
Yeah, yeah. Their album, The Director's Cut, is one of my favorite albums of all time.
That's a really good one, man. Yep.
It's probably in my top 10. Actually, that's a really good album to listen to around Halloween. Um, because I'm a big Halloween nerd, obviously.
Yeah,
But
like horror movies and stuff. Hell yeah, dude. I've seen your videos. Yep.
yeah, yeah, I review horror films on my website, and here in well, I'd say 2 or 3 more months, I'll be putting together my second book. I put a book out a couple years ago of just horror movie reviews,
Hmm.
and so now I've amassed just enough to put out the second one, and then
Dude, that's sick.
yeah, I'm actually retiring from writing about movies after that, though. I'm hanging it up. So then I'm going to focus on YouTube full time. Because right now, I mean, I'm almost a full timer now, but I'm going to put a little more weight behind what I do on YouTube. And I don't know, I'm trying to reach out to as many different metal, quote unquote, metal YouTubers as possible to try to, get ingratiated into the scene.
Yeah, man. Of course. Yeah, no worries.
Um, but yeah, I asked about Mike Patton because of the Dillinger EP. You might like Faith No More. They influenced so many bands. Um,
I know
I,
they have a big discography in the '80s.
well, they released three in the '80s. They had Mike Patton joined on the third album.
Right. I know that he was not their original vocalist.
Right, right. If I would start, if you ever got into Faith No More, I would start with Angel Dust. It's a darker, weirder album.
What
Uh,
genre are they really? Like, what's a good way to are they kind of like one of those bands that blend so much it's hard to describe them?
kind of, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
They they influenced. They were actually a big influence on the new metal movement.
Oh,
Although
really?
they don't sound like new metal though. It's they influenced Corn quite a bit.
Okay.
I don't know how you feel about Corn, but
Um, I mean, I have the first album on CD from when I was younger. I mean,
yeah,
I like the first two, like Corn and Life is Peachy. Those are fine albums. They got a bit
yeah,
too ghetto on Follow the Leader.
yeah.
But I
They
mean,
were a big
Jonathan
influence.
Davis, he had always said, like, I always kind of took Jonathan Davis's word on what Corn was because people always grouped them in with new metal, right?
Yeah,
Jonathan Davis said that they were more like down-tuned funk.
yeah.
And
There is a
and
big funk
I
element.
okay, I
Faith No
see
More.
that. I see that on some of the songs on like Twist, like earlier songs, like okay, I get that.
There is a funk element to Faith No More as well. There
Okay.
was actually in the early '90s, funk was kind of creeping into thrash
Hmm.
as well. There's
Yeah, no, you can hear that on albums like Coroner's Grin a little bit. That's actually one of my favorite thrash albums of all time. You can hear that a little bit in there.
okay. Look, yeah, that's the one that most people hate when it comes to Coroner.
Yeah, no, that's my favorite. It's
Okay.
pretty technical and out there, and that's why
Mhm.
I think I like it. I do like a lot of odd music, and actually getting into technical thrash, I wanted to show you this release. Have you heard of this band Species?
Yeah, yeah, I liked their most recent. They're on $20 spin, right?
Yes, this isn't this is their first ever EP, To Find Deliverance.
Hmm.
Really cool orange cassette shell. I don't have many orange cassettes, but
Hmm.
really interesting technical thrash with a
Yeah,
bit more of a
I like them.
spacey vibe.
I like them. I
They're
like.
very cool.
Yeah, I don't know if I've actually heard that EP. I like the LP they did.
I would definitely check out To Find Deliverance.
Hmm.
It's killer, dude. Yep. Perfect. Like some of like the best technical thrash I've heard. It has like really good vocals because I honestly do not like a lot of thrash vocals.
Yeah, that's understandable.
It's just it's a really acquired taste. Same with like heavy metal, bro. I don't like a lot of heavy metal just because of the fucking vocals. It can get really
I don't listen to a lot of traditional stuff. The trad metal and heavy
Me
metal.
either. Yeah.
And I mean I like some of it. Um I mean I love Dio. I don't know if you put him in
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Holy Diver is a good album. I mean, fuck, Stand Up and Shout, you know, Rainbow in the Dark, songs like, yeah, dude, like
Yeah. Where was I going with that? Um I keep losing my train of thought. What is going on here? I keep getting derailed. So anyway, so yeah, the when it comes to traditional metal, well, I'll say this: when it comes to thrash, I'm not crazy about the vocals that much either. Um, One band I've just recently gotten into, I'm trying to get into more bands from that era, is Nuclear Assault.
okay.
I
You ever
got
heard of Evil Dead?
yeah.
They're pretty good as well. Yeah, they both have a similar sound. Those bands. So
Yeah, I actually did get a Nuclear Assault CD in the mail
nice.
a couple days ago.
Funny
Something
you
more.
bring that up, dude, because like one of those thrash bands that I hadn't heard for the longest time that I just recently heard was Toxic Holocaust. Like a lot,
Okay.
like I mean, and I know like they're one of the more popular bands, but just because I don't listen to a lot of thrash, like yeah, I didn't hear like Evil Never Dies until like a while ago, like just recently, to be honest.
They're okay.
Yeah, they really are just very okay.
I think J Dog is a big fan of them, but
He is. And you know, J Dog has a good taste, honestly, in some stuff, but like one of the albums he recently kind of was pushing on that I didn't like was that Deranged Cut Carve Rip Serve. I thought like, dude, if I'm gonna listen to Deranged, I'm just gonna listen to the first three albums. I'm gonna listen to Rated X. I'm gonna listen to High on Blood and 3. I'm gonna listen to those. I don't need 8 of them.
mhm.
And like another one I didn't really like was the Inverted, the Shadowland. I put that
I
on.
do like that one. I do
You
like
like,
that.
yeah, I put that. I didn't like it because of the production.
Okay.
The riffing was fine. The music itself was fine, but the production just gets to me. And you can call me a hypocrite all because like Stillborn by Malevolent Creation is my favorite Malevolent album, and people rip on that shit all the time because the production.
Yeah,
So
yeah. The the what was it? Okay. Oh yeah. The J Dog that reminded me of another. I don't know if you're into. It's a band that he interviewed. They're like kids. A Funeral Dancer. I don't know if you know.
I seen the interview. No, I have not heard of them.
I
They
checked them
all
out.
looked, yeah, they looked very, very young though.
I turned into a huge fan. I bought both of their albums.
What are they?
It's black metal mixed with hard rock.
Hmm.
So I mean, basically black and roll. I guess if you had to tag it
Okay,
as
that's
something.
very interesting. All right,
Yeah.
all right.
Um,
Because one of the bands that J Dog put me onto, and Hell's actually they're another like blackened black metal crossover with a different genre. We were just talking about thrash. So Bloodstorm,
okay, yeah.
Pestilence of the Dragonstar. I actually was able to get both versions of the vinyl. Now get this, man. I didn't fucking hear Bloodstorm until J Dog like he started, you know, really mentioning them and stuff. And I finally listened to the music, and the album cover didn't really draw me in, but I listened to tunes. I was like, holy fuck, this is like black and thrash. This is really fucking good black and thrash. So I went out and I looked at the site. I got the splatter or the splatter with the swirl vinyl, the green, black, and white. Really pretty. But they sold out on the limited to 100 transparent ice glitter. Someone listed theirs on eBay, so I picked that bastard up.
Okay.
I got all editions of it.
I don't even like Bloodstorm. I know that's a blasphemy to say that. I listened to it. It just didn't. I don't know. It didn't click with me for some reason.
For sure. Was it just that album?
Yeah. I didn't explore.
If you didn't like that one, I'll recommend this one. I also picked this one up. This is called The Ancient Wrath of Ku. So really, it's a better representation of the sound, I think. Better production, that's for sure. Because this one's from the Dragon Star. I feel like the bass kind of gets it can get muddled down in the mix. That's one of the things that at least I had noticed. I like the music though; it is still very good in my opinion.
Yeah, the cover reminds me of. I don't know if you're familiar with the band Infernal Majesty.
I am.
Okay, the first album, None Shall Defy.
Okay, yep.
I love that album, and it's got a very similar cover. It's got a goofy-looking dragon on the front, and he's basically in outer space for some reason.
You do? I don't know. I really like that. I'm gonna just pull it out again, but yeah, I really did like the album. I mean, when I got into the tunes, yeah, I guess I really did like the album cover.
I love the cover.
It's interesting because I don't know if you watched the interview with Mezzadurus, Chris Gamble, that J-Dog did, but
yeah,
he's really into the occult. And while I don't do that stuff anymore, and that's mainly because my fucking parents threw out all my grimoires when I was younger. Thanks, Mom and Dad. I don't really do the occult anymore because I used to dabble in it. I used to dabble in hexes and stuff like that when I was like 18, 19. I've always been into darker stuff. But yeah, I don't do it anymore. But just to know that that band is fronted by a guy who is into the occult, who's in a black metal band, when black metal is like one of the darkest, most evil forms of music out there.
Yeah.
Refreshing to see. A lot of these black metalers out here don't know anything about that. They just think they're dark and evil because they wear a corpse paint in a black leather jacket.
Yeah, that's one thing that kind of makes a band like Dissection a little more, interesting to me, because you know that he was dead serious about it.
Yeah, John. Yeah, John Neuvite was very serious about it. I don't know if you know, but they used to hang up dead cats for their shows. They used to hang up dead cats on hooks for their shows. Oh yeah. Yep, those guys weren't fucking kidding around. And he did go to prison for murder.
Yeah.
I mean, if you ask me, dude, real motherfucker. I mean, stood on business, and I mean, shit. I don't agree with what he did, but he was definitely true. He fit the bill.
Well, another guy he committed suicide for the same reason, and he was around the same age too. I don't know if you're familiar with this band called The Devil's Blood.
No.
Okay, they're really hard to describe musically. They're not really an extreme metal band. They're kind of doom, psychedelic kind of, but it's
kind of like him.
What?
You ever heard him? His Infernal Majesty.
Yeah, I actually do like a lot of him stuff.
Oh, okay, for sure. They're all right. I know a lot of their vinyl goes for crazy fucking amounts of money.
Let me see if I'm curious. I'm gonna look them up on the archives, see what they're called on here. Okay, they're not even on the metal
dude,
archive.
there are so many bands that are not on there that you would think were on that there, like Last Days of Humanity, not on there because they're not considered metal.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder
if it's really weird.
I wonder if they're on Wikipedia, because I wanted to see what other people consider them to be.
Dude, there are fucking deathcore bands that are on fucking Metal Archives, and they're not on there. Like, I Declare War is on Metal Archives. And while, yes, Amidst the Bloodshed is a good album. Everything else they've done sounds like fucking Oceano.
Okay, occult rock. That makes sense. They're
Cult rock. Okay.
occult rock. The Devil's Blood. The Thousandfold Epicenter is, in my opinion, their best album. It's
Thousandfold Epicenter. That's a fucking cool name.
Yeah, they're a female-fronted band. The singer is the sister of the guitarist, and the guy, he was the main songwriter, and he's the one who killed himself. Yeah, he it was essentially, if you read the interviews, it was the same reasoning as John from Dissection.
Because he just said that he had fulfilled everything in his life. Because that's why John did it. John didn't do it because he literally said that he had fulfilled everything. They put out that last album, Rain Chaos, right? They put out that last album, and he said, "Okay, I've done everything I want to do here. Fuck this shit. I'm gonna light a fucking circle of candles and blow my fucking head off in it. That's what I'm gonna do." Honestly, I don't blame him. Dude, life fucking sucks. I'm not gonna lie. Life does suck dick, so I don't blame the guy. Like, he had more balls than most people do. So, I do like the first two Dissection albums.
Selfishly, I wish you would have stuck around to get, some more Dissection records.
That is one good reason.
But you might like Devil's Blood, though. I don't know if you're into the band Ghost or not.
I know who they are. I've seen their live performances. Their music is okay. A band that's as like gimmicky as they are that I do like is Portal, but they're so different. Portal are just very dark and evil.
I never got into Portal. I dig the image.
Sepia is, I mean, it's really out there. The riffs they kind of pummel you. The riffs are there, but they're so buzzsaw-y, and they just traverse through like different fucking. It's just hard to describe the music itself. It's not really structured. A lot of it is free form.
You might like there's a band. This is a serious recommendation. You need to check this band out. If you haven't, maybe you have heard of them. Abyssal.
Who?
Abyssal.
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 No, Abysmal.
No, this is Abyssal. It's similar in a way to Portal, only it's a little more song oriented, and it's crushing stuff. It's very, very dark, but
is it like as dark as like? Do you know who Gnaw Their Tongues are?
Yes.
Are they as dark as that?
Oh yeah.
Okay, for sure. Because like, I remember when I started just looking for like the darkest shit I could find on the internet, and I stumbled across Wyatt X Him's video on the most evil albums I know, or like the most disturbing albums I think. Do you know who Wyatt X Him is?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, he actually is subscribed to my channel.
Okay.
It's insane. Fucking thanks, Wyatt. I mean, he obviously appreciated my content enough to subscribe, but he went over one of Gnaw Their Tongues albums, and that's kind of how I first heard of them. I definitely think their first record is still their best, which is For Slaves, A Song of False Hope, I think. That's what it's called.
Well, the first one is Spit at Me and Wreak Havoc on My Flesh.
Oh, that's the EP. That's the EP. Yeah, that's the first EP.
It's listed as a full length.
It is.
Yeah, 50 minutes.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, I remember looking their discography up a long time ago, though. Yeah, but.
Yeah. I mean, I've never actually listened to much of their stuff, but I mean, I am.
It's just really atmospheric, disturbing stuff. It's sort of in the category of black metal, but more like noise ambient.
Atmosphere is a good word to describe Abyssal. Check out Abyssal, and you might like thy. Oh man, what is
Not thy art is murder, yeah. Not
no,
that, right?
no. Thy shoot. Hold on a second. This is gonna drive me nuts. Thy. Mm, it's thy something. Is it thy darkened cult? Maybe. Let me see if it's. No, that's not it. Well, I was gonna tell you about another cool band, but my brain is failing me today.
You're good, dude. No worries.
But yeah, they and you might like Ackercocky. Have you ever looked up Ackercocky? Have you seen the name? It's a weird band name, but
No, I don't think so.
it's again very dark and it's ritualistic death metal with shades of black metal and a little bit of kind of a post punk influence. I want to say
Okay.
that they're it's Akercokke. Where are they from? I can't remember where they're from. I think they're British actually, but they're a really good band. But no, Abyssal is really intense stuff. And there's a lot of bands called Abyssal, which is
There's
it
like 10 of them on Metal Archives.
yeah,
Oh, dude, do you know how I fucking feel when I first looked up the band Desecration? Oh, dude, there's like 20 of them.
yeah,
I think actually the first one that pops up is the Welsh Desecration, like gore and perversion, fucking murder and this band right here.
yeah. Okay,
Which
yeah,
this is legitimately a pretty difficult CD to find. So that original pressing, I was able to get it from fucking Germany.
yeah. I got That's I did you get it on Discogs?
No, eBay of all
Okay,
places.
yeah. Every once in a
Sometimes you
while,
get
I'll find,
lucky with eBay, man.
yeah.
I got this on eBay right here. This is the Sepsism demo reissue CD.
Okay.
It's a cool demo. I actually have the original cassette, but yeah, it's a really good brutal death metal demo. One of my favorites.
Um, I don't know how long we've been talking. Um,
Oh, it's about like an hour.
all right. I do have to go here soon. Going to go to the shopping mall of all places. But
Sick, man, sick.
yeah. But we can do this again at some point if you want. I'm gonna have my friend. I'm gonna have someone edit the video for us so we can get rid of the messed up parts.
Sounds good, man. Yeah, perfect. I think we had a pretty good discussion. We definitely got into
Yeah, I
some
think so. I think so.
good topics. So yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah, bro.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'll go ahead and end it here. But thanks for doing it, and I will leave a link to your channel in the description area.
Thank you so much, bro. I really appreciate that. Was gonna ask if you want me to send you the link or if you'll put it in and
Oh no, I'll put it up on YouTube, but I'm trying to figure out when I want to put it up though. It won't be the next one. My next video goes up in 3 or 4 days.
gotcha.
That's going to be a ranking video, and then I'll probably put this interview up. Then I got to put up the J Dog interview.
Sick. Okay. I mean, hey, that works out, man. I'm probably gonna put my next video up tomorrow, and then I'll get that interview done, Zoom interview with the Deven vocalist. I'm sure a lot of
Yeah.
people who see this are gonna be hyped about that. So
Yeah, I'll be interested to see that, even though I don't listen to the band.
they are. All I can say is they're one of the most unique brutal death metal bands out there because they are not very fast paced. A lot of their music is actually slower than what you would expect. So one of the bands I would say that you should check out.
I'll check out Deaden. You can check out Abyssal.
Will do. Will do.
Yeah,
All right, brother.
And then you look it up. It's the Abyssal from United Kingdom. When you look them up on the archives.
Gotcha. Okay. So I'm not scouring through the names. Gotcha. Will do.
Right. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and click end recording. Thanks a lot, and whatever you do, folks, don't like or subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you next time.
All right, brother. Thanks. You guys have a good one.
Yeah.